Hello, everyone on Periscope and YouTube and DLive. So today, my live streaming, we have like a guest. He's like the CEO of BAM protocol. Soravis, and BAM is an excellent Oracle. Company. Right now is working with lots of the public chain, provides one of the best Oracle services for DeFi and other projects. Recently, Tron just reached a strategic alliance with SPAM protocol, and we will start to see a lot of the DeFi projects if the developer built on Tron protocol, which I think is a lot of them. We also see a lot of the developers on the app side. Right now, Tron is the #1 DApp protocol, even has 7 times active users than Ethereum. And we have seen yesterday, we've seen the trading volume on JetSwap break 35 million US dollars per day, increase for almost like 100% compared to the volume we had before. I definitely believe on JetSwap and all the DeFi on Tron ecosystem, everything is taking off. So definitely for this special moment, we have our guest today. Soravis, can you maybe give everybody a little bit introduction of yourself and also about BAM protocol? We want to hear it from you.
For sure. Thank you, Justin, and hi to the Tron communities. Quick background about myself. My name is Soravis. Yeah, a little bit difficult to pronounce. But I'm from Thailand, and I'm the CEO of BAM Protocol. A quick background about myself. I'm an engineer by training, so I did computer science for my undergrad at Stanford Universities in the US. And then I did my master in management, also at Stanford in the US. Before moving back to Southeast Asia to start work in the management consultant for 2 years before doing going into blockchain full time. And the first time I got into the blockchain industry is when I studied computer science at Stanford, cryptography class with Dan Boney. That's when I bought my first Bitcoin in 2013. Started a side business, which is a game company that reward players in cryptocurrencies. So we were one of the few first to do that in the world, actually, back in 2015. Grew that to over 800,000 users. Sold that in 2017, and then started BAM Protocol along with my 2 other co-founders from MIT. So that's a quick background about the team. And when we started BAM Protocol, is what we try to do is solving these Oracle problems, right? And what Oracle problem is essentially smart contract on blockchain, like Tron, for example, have no easy way to access information or data outside of the blockchain itself. That's the limitation of the blockchain application. And that make the use case fairly limited, right? Not just on Tron, but also Ethereum, also Polkadot, also other different layer 1 solutions. And that make developers make developers' life really difficult when you want to build any of the apps, including stable coin, lending products, trading protocol. And that's why we need Oracle to help make the developing experience much faster and much easier. And so yeah, BAM is trying to solve that. We are essentially connecting all the smart contract, including Tron now, to all the information outside of the blockchain itself.
Great. Can you also tell us a little bit about BAM protocol, like how BAM is unique, and also what's make BAM special in the market?
For sure. So band protocol, we built our Oracle solution on top of the Cosmos SDK. So essentially, we actually built our own blockchain. Right? This is actually really different to many other oracles in the market right now. Most of them are based on Ethereum, and that also faces congestion issues and scalability issues. Right? As you see, gas fees are insane. It's more expensive to transact on Ethereum now than many things in the world. It's really expensive. And so what we do is we build our Oracle solution on our band chain. Right? This is an independent blockchain. And so all the Oracle computation, meaning the sourcing of the data from the outside world, the computation to aggregate the data and output the final result for developers or the apps to actually consume the data, take place on the band chain itself. And that have a couple of implications. Number one is scalabilities, right? Because it's on our own band chain based on Cosmos solution. It take less than 6 seconds for us to process all the data requests from any blockchain, right? So all the requests happen on the band chain, and then we only output the final result with the verification proof to the destination blockchain like Tron, so that the apps on top of Tron can actually consume the band chain data, right? So scalability is really important for us. Cost is also important. Because we don't have to worry about other people transacting other applications, the cost to actually query data on band chain is really cheap, right? Significantly lower than Ethereum or other blockchain. Right? And then the third part is also this cross-chain compatibilities. So we aim to be cross-chain. We support all major layer one, including Tron. We have a lot of ecosystem players. We want to support everyone, and we want to make sure every developers on top of Tron can utilize that easily. And the last part, which I think is really important, is about decentralization. Right? And on decentralization, it means that everyone that become data providers that provide data on band chain have skin in the game. Right? They have to stake the tokens, which is the band tokens, as a collateral in order to become data providers. That means each of these has millions of dollars at stake. And that also means that they will be a good actor trying to serve the right data. Right? So what that means is developers on top of Tron don't have to really trust band, don't have to really trust the band foundation, don't really have to trust the band team. They trust that the crypto economic works and that these data providers will do their best to provide the right data and verify the data from each other. Right? So I think all in all, I think we strike the balance between decentralization as well as scalabilities to meet the demand of all the app developers across different blockchain, especially the scalable one like Tron as well.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And also, can you tell us a little bit about like how you know about Tron and why you choose Tron as like a partner for Oracle? Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, I think everyone heard about Tron. Tron is one of the biggest public blockchain, right? And it also promotes a lot of scalability issues in terms of make it really fast. There's a vibrant ecosystem. I mean, even though the West people don't really know about it because many of the developers here are Asia-based, and actually, well, I mean, it's actually global-based. There are vibrant communities of Tron. I think one example is Indonesia. When I visited Indonesia, most of the Indonesian developers actually talk about Tron and how to build the apps on top of Tron, just because they don't have the money to pay a gas fee on top of Ethereum, right? So Tron also have a really vibrant ecosystem, and we choose to partner with Tron obviously because we want to support all the developers on top of the ecosystem. We want to make sure we can provide a scalable Oracle solution for them, whether they want to build lending protocol, whether they want to build decentralized perpetual swap, decentralized synthetic tokens, derivative, option tradings. All of these will require Oracle, and we want to support all of that, right? And of course, because you guys have a really big, rich ecosystem, it also, I guess it's also in our best interest to serve that and make sure we can provide the best securities to all of these different DApps on top of Tron. I think Just is a good example, right? The stable coin with I think 30-40 million of dollars now locked up in the smart contract, right? And with that amount of money locked up in the contract, we want to provide the best securities and ensure that we provide the right data for the Just to operate in a secure manner and a trustless manner. And that's why we are really happy to finish all this integration. We've been working on it for a while and happy to go live. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I also want to mention is I just checked the data. Actually, the trading volume on JustSwap is even more than $100 million.
Yeah.
Yesterday is only 30 million, so today is like $100 million. Wow.
I think the investment love
So
quite time.
yeah, so even like make this volume compared to all the Ethereum DEX, JustSwap is right now is also like top three among all the like Ethereum DEX. And also I just check on CoinGecko because we don't even know how the data was collected. And the CoinGecko reports the Just network JustSwap trading volume is 1.3 billion US dollars. I don't even know why. I will check later. But this makes JustSwap even more than UnionSwap. I will check this data later, but definitely I think this make like Tron is like one of the most like special protocol, especially for DeFi these days. Ethereum has this kind of the capacity problem. I think definitely is an opportunity here. And also, we want to know more about the band's like plan for 2020 and 2021. Any like news and also plan you want to share us about?
Sure. I think for us, adoption is number one priorities, right? So making sure people can use our data in the most safe and secure manner, and scalable manner. So I think that's going to be one of our main objectives in 2020. We're going to be working across all these different layer one. We're going to support a lot of these developers like just Swap, and I know there are at least 10, 20 more, promising the apps that are, requiring Oracle on top of Tron, and we'll be there to support them, right? So our mission is to support everyone. Our mission is always to be blockchain agnostic. We want to make sure, securities for this industry is the most important, right? If we want to bring this to mass adoption, everyone need to be able to trust the smart contract that they interact with. They need to make sure there's no securities, vulnerability, security hack, right? So we want to make sure that we are the one that help to make that happen, by looking at all this different code, by providing our Oracle service. That's going to be one of our top priorities. And secondly, I think we're also going to be working a lot with enterprises. Again, mass adoption will never take place if we don't bring, traditional enterprises in, if we don't bring, the real sector in. And we have been working with a couple of the big enterprises across the world, to make that happen. Either as an Oracle partner to bring their data in, or as a people that actually utilize our data Oracle on their interface. So a lot of these are happening behind the scene. We like to work hard and push it behind the scene first, and once we launch, then we announce, right? Just like what we have with Tron. Even though we've been working together for a while, we just announced it once it's live. So I think that has been our way of working. We're going to drive a lot more adoption, and we're going to make sure we become a prominent players in the crypto industry.
Sure, definitely. I think this is all like very exciting news. We are definitely looking forward to see the like the industry is taking off. And also so you're gonna ask me or I ask myself? Did you got a question list?
Yeah, I think there are some questions for Justin, and I guess I can do the questions. Let me pull it up real quick. So I think there are a couple of questions for Justin, I guess from our ecosystem as well the general population. So the first question is, now that you partner with BAN, what do you think it really brings to the Tron ecosystem here?
Yes, definitely. I think Ben is the first, I think, Oracle companies we partner with. And also, I think Ben has an excellent developer team. I think this is like the most important things. As we know, like every ecosystem, the most crucial part is about the developer, right? So we definitely want to get like all the developers, excellent developers in the world to work on like Tron protocol, right? To provide like the best experience and the product to our users. So I think definitely BAN partnership with BAN is a very important milestone. It marks that lots of the excellent developers these days will start to work on Tron protocol and provide the best product to our ecosystem users, which I think is definitely the #1 priority on Tron. And we are happy to work with even more developer in the world to build Tron as like one of the best DeFi protocol in the world.
Yep, agree. I think developers are the most important thing, right? Obviously, as a layer one solution, obviously as an Oracle as well. We've been working with a lot of developers, and I'm really happy as well that our developers community sort of merged, and excited to see what come next, right? So now that you said it, BAN protocol fully integrated into Tron ecosystem to support Tron D apps. What do you think make the Tron DeFi ecosystem better than others?
Sure. First of all, we know like Ethereum these days has some very large scalability problem. For example, like every day we see Ethereum, once the Ethereum transaction is about 1 million transactions, the network just can't like handle the scalability problem. So for Tron, we are like 1,000 times faster than Ethereum, which means like on our network, we can handle like 10 millions or even 100 million transaction per day. So we are talking about like 100 times like scalability than Ethereum. So imagine like today, right? Ethereum like solve like all the scalability issues. You can imagine like how much like trading volume gonna be Uniswap. I think gonna be maybe $10 billion or something, right? Right now it's like $1 billion. But once we solve the scalability issue, it's gonna be $10 billion or even like $100 billion. And if we can handle this kind of the capacity, right, we can even bring the whole market cap of the crypto even like 10 times more or even 100 times more, right? Because the scalability is everything here. So I think first of all, Tron has a very good scalability solution for all the projects on Tron. So everybody can, if you adopt it, you can try on JustSwap. It's seamless experience. And then second thing, I think there is also a lot of the high scalability protocol in the world, right? We know like some of our like competitors, but I think compared to them, our biggest advantage is our ecosystem. First of all, Tron is the #1 DApp ecosystem in the world. So right now for DApp, we are already like 7 times more than Ethereum active users. So there's lots of the DApp developers. So that's why when Tron is launching like DeFi protocol, lots of the developers start to work on Tron, start to work on Tron and work on the Tron protocol. And then also the same time, I think it's the USDT ecosystem, right? We have over $4 billion on USDT ecosystem, which make Tron is the kind of like same level with Ethereum and all the stable coin ecosystem, right? So recently we are also plan to work with others in the ecosystem to bring these kind of the things even further. I believe within this year, the USDT and all the stable coin ecosystem on Tron will be surpassed. I think $10 billion is going to be like a big milestone for all the stable coin on Tron. And also, we have seen a lot of the government and also other developers. For example, like sorry. Samsung start to work on Tron as well, right? Samsung right now support like all the Tron, all the Samsung mobile devices support Tron and all the TRC and TRC10 tokens. And also recently, I think one of the biggest milestone is we have seen a numerous of the developers start to build on Tron. I think this is also something make Tron is very unique, which I believe this is more like our ecosystem advantage if you compare us with other products.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, I mean, even personally, when I want to transfer USDT from exchange to exchange, I now use Tron, the TRC20 version, because it's much cheaper than the ERC20 version when I withdraw it. Okay, so I think cost and scalabilities are obviously really important to users. And now that you mentioned it, right, I think BAN protocol is starting to integrate with Just as well, right, to secure the stablecoin protocol. What can we see, following this, once the integration is completed?
Yes, definitely. I think BAN right now is like the first Oracle protocol on Tron. I think definitely just because like everybody today, because of the just swap, like trading volume is extremely high, right? So like everybody may think just is only doing DAX, right? But I want to say it's like just it's not like only doing DAX. We have like just stable, just lending, just land, and all the different kind of the product. So we're gonna launch this year. So I think all of these protocol they have lots of the demands on getting the data from outside of the blockchain, right? It's just like what Oracle do. So that definitely I think we will see a lot of the just product will start to use like BAN as one of the source for our information outside of the blockchain. So that's why I believe Oracle is definitely one of the most important things happened on Tron. And also, not only just, I think we are trying to collaborate with lots of the Ethereum biggest protocol, also on product on Ethereum. They are trying to deliver like a Tron version. So that's why I think this is like very important too. So so yeah, I think this is like super exciting, and we definitely gonna see a lot of the product rolling out in Q4.
Awesome. I think there's a follow-up question from the communities. You mentioned that there is a series of DeFi partnership to come, right? Can you elaborate more on that?
Yes, definitely. Since we have seen a lot of the like just swap, the trading volume is even 100 million today, right? So I think definitely we're gonna see a lot of the DAX want to make a Tron version, and also lending, and also stable coin, and also like liquidity mining, right? Like YFI, they all trying to either like the developer himself, like trying to migrate to Tron to make a Tron version. Also, like lots of the developers is making this kind of the financial product on Tron protocol. I think September gonna be like a month of boom. A lot of the people gonna launch their product on Tron. I think we definitely gonna see a lot of uptick, you know, about Tron protocol, and we are definitely happy to like share all the growth with our partners, right? And the band was just like the first one. I think everybody built on Tron gonna share this kind of the exponential growth, in the because I'm a huge believer of the bull market. I think definitely right now bull market is coming. We need to switch our way of thinking, because I know a lot of the people like their mindset is still in the bear markets. They are afraid of like this kind of the innovation, and also if the price is going a little bit up, they're gonna be like very skeptical, right? It's the the volume on Uniswap or JustSwap is real. Right? It's even more than Coinbase. Is that even possible, right? Lots of people will think like this way. I definitely think we're gonna switch our way of thinking right now. We're gonna embrace, the exponential growth here. So that's definitely, I believe, if you are a developer or like investor, skeptical about like DeFi, you definitely need to get in first, even before like I mention anything else. I remember there's like a book like written by like Sonnenberg. He said like when Zuckerberg invited him to join the Facebook, he said like the most important thing is to jump on the rocket ship. It doesn't even matter like where the rocket ship is gonna go. So that's something I think is very important. We need to understand like today, right? We need to switch our mindset to like a bull market instead of the bear market. I think lots of people, because I have been in this industry for like 8 years. I know like what people like thinking when they have been tortured by this bear market for almost 3 years, right? So definitely I think right now is the time, right? We need to jump on the rocket ship, So yeah, I believe this is definitely something gonna happen.
Awesome. No, agree. I think it's a good time. Although all the builders here have been in pain for 3 years, quietly building, quietly shipping product that people actually use, right? And I think we're in a pretty good time, right? Where the market is good, as well as all this development are coming to market. I think there's one more question to both of us. I guess I can ask the question. In light of the recent event and development, right, of the blockchain industry, as you said, the bull market is here. What are your current outlook on the future of DeFi and the wider blockchain space?
Yes, definitely. I'm not like trying to promote like Tron here, but just my humble like opinion. I think definitely the next like DeFi wave is on Tron. So Ethereum, because we have seen a dramatic growth already from like zero to like today's $1 billion like trading volumes, right? We have seen like all the growth, but the problem right now is Ethereum is reaching the bottleneck, right? It's not like the investor didn't want to trade on Ethereum, right? It's not like developers, it's not like want to build on Ethereum. It's just like Ethereum can't like process all the transaction. It's like Binance, trading volume is great, but the problem is like Binance shut down the registration. You can't even like get new account on Binance. It's just like this. So that's why I think Ethereum gonna still grow for sure, but I think it won't have like exponential growth because of the scalability problem. So that's why I think like Tron right now is definitely number two, like in terms of the trading volume, developer communities, and also and stablecoin ecosystem, and also the usage of like those big companies. Like Tron is definitely number two. And remember, like Tron is like we are not like barely even reached the Ethereum like volume level. For this we have even like 10 times or even 100 times of the growth, space. And not even to mention like above this we have even like 100x more, 1000x more, because our scalability is 1000 times like more than Ethereum, right? So once like all the people migrate to Tron, they're gonna see this like crazy exponential growth. Recently I feel myself even become the most like conservative ones, in Tron, because lots of the exchange try to like launch the token on Tron. They ask me, it's like, Justin, the founder, I don't know if you know the founder of the project. I don't know if we should list it. When they ask me this question, I will say it's more like maybe you need to be a little bit cautious, to see like 1 or 2 weeks, when you really feel like comfortable, you can move on that. But right now, I mean, even those exchange, they ignore my advice. They listed the token right away, just after they ask me, right? When I give them like a neutral or even a little bit like negative like feedback, ask them to be more cautious. So I definitely think I'm even like more conservative on this kind of the things. So yeah, definitely I think next DeFi opportunity is definitely on Tron. It's just like Ethereum in 2017. You need to grab this chance. This is important. It's not like this kind of the chance gonna come up like every day. It's every like in blockchain history is only like 5 years, like once. You only got this kind of the chance like once in 5 years. It's like 2009 like Bitcoin, 2017 Ethereum, right? Today is like 2020 Tron, you need to grab this chance. I think this is important. Yeah. And also, yeah, Soravis, what do you think about like current outlook of the future of the DeFi and in the blockchain space?
Sure. I think obviously I'm a more neutral view. I think we're gonna see, like you said, I think we're gonna see a lot more experiment within the DeFi ecosystem, expanding the offering beyond just a simple lending protocol, right? So far we have only seen mostly lending protocol taking off in terms of the usages, but I think we're gonna see much more of those use cases, including derivative. Including synthetic tokens, including perpetual swap, decentralized tradings, insurances like Nature's Mutual. A lot of these are being experimented, and I think we're going to see much more traction that's going to come out along with each of these verticals, right? And I'm quite excited for that. So I think there's going to be much more offering in each of these verticals, much more competing solutions, like perpetual swap, for example. I think we already saw 5 to 6 different companies trying to launch that on top of Ethereum, right? So that's on the offering. And as you mentioned, I think Ethereum is also reaching its limitation. I think a lot of the developers will start to explore different other blockchain, not just on top of Ethereum's. And you already see that. You see just with Tron, you see with Serum, with Solana, you see Polkadot with Akala. A lot of these different blockchain will try to offer a competing solution with hopefully more compelling value propositions, right? And I think that's really good. I think overall is a good and positive for the whole industry as we try to experiment with the offering, with the underlying blockchain and consensus algorithms. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to hopefully some of these will actually crack toward more mass adoption, that not only people who are crypto native like us, right, being in the industry for a while, we know how to use a wallet, but I hope that in the next few years, some of these companies will actually bridge the gap between decentralized finance to the mass adoption, and that's when we will truly see one of the biggest bull market for sure as we drive this toward more established industry. And I think lastly, not just experiment in terms of the offering, in terms of the blockchain protocol, but also I think it's also a social experiment, right? You also see what happened with Sushi Swap, that essentially take all the crypto Twitter within a week, right? Less than a week. It's insane, right? But it's actually legitimate in the sense that it's an experiment to see how we can structure tokens as an economic incentive for people around the world. To sort of coordinate together, right? We don't know who that is, but people rally behind that. They have a really big communities, and so I think that's something that we're going to keep seeing more and more in this industry, which I think is net positive. As long as I hope everyone stay responsible and know what they're doing, right? And hopefully, along all this, boom and bust, along all this experiment, some of them will actually emerge as a real use cases that people will actually use. So yeah, excited for that and happy to support whoever is trying to build that DeFi that people will actually use in real world.
No problem. Thank you so much for today. And I will have like live streaming. Like I think it's in like 8 hours or something, because we will start like some like mining, right? Another very exciting news for Tron protocol today. I basically these days I give like 2 live streaming per day, you know. So thanks for everyone to come here today, and just stay tuned for the sound mining. Thank you, everybody.
Justin. Cheers.